And for a second I thought maybe that would just entail being a producer on it. Because it wasn't the kind of character that made me go, oh, yeah, like, I was scared. I was supposed to be like, I was given a real life person who's so just everybody knows who Megan is. And that felt like a lot of pressure.
Yeah, so it's strange because watching it seems obvious. It seems obvious that you would want to do it, but obviously there's more here. It seems like it doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yes, and I don't know about you, but I'm always thinking it's a bad idea. I'm always thinking there's somebody else out there that can do this so much better than I can, and I'm gonna...
Including us.
Yes, exactly. So, kindest human beings I've ever been close to. I do not know how he's capable of being so consistent with me, but he is really just an incredibly empathetic human being. And when he started diving into the story, I think he was hyper aware of the fact that he was a man telling the story, and that people would probably look at that as like a negative. And so for him, it became incredibly important to just always be emotionally connected to what the story was and what we were doing. And that included that he was surrounded by a lot of women, and he was the most unbelievable listener. So no, in a strange way, working with him, all of his attributes just shine brighter. And I don't know other people like that, by the way. I know a lot of assholes. No, I'm joking.
Right.
Mr. Trump, one of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs. So I got to work with Kazuhiro, who is like the rock star. He's like the only person who plays at this level when it comes to prosthetics. He's also always threatening to retire, so you're always kind of pulling him out of retirement. But he was strangely working on season 2 of Mindhunter, which is a show that I'm a producer on with David Fincher, and he was doing a bunch of serial killers on that show. And so when I reached out to him, I knew he was not in retirement because he was working on that. And I basically begged him to come on, and the reason is because he's just so good, and I knew that he would be amazing at doing it, but he would also be a really good gauge in kind of looking to somebody else and saying, like, how do we find that balance? Like, I need your help with that. So we did the first test, and I looked like a young Glenn Close. It was very strange. Never thought I had those features, but I ended up looking like a beautiful young Glenn Close, not like Megyn Kelly at all.
Right.
And I remember Jay kind of like hovering in the background, and I could see just panic coming out of him. He was like, this is never gonna work. And Kazu was this like gentle Japanese genius, was just like kind of deep humming while staring at my face.
Humming?
Yeah, he was like, neither the way artists hum, they're like just staring at me. And he's just on every level, not just as an actor, but just how she's kind of taken charge of what she wants her career to be. And I don't know, there's something about her personality that I'm very attracted to. And I mean, there's so many amazing women in this. That was the other thing when I read this. In 25 years, I've never had an opportunity like this to work with so many women.
Right.
And they're all smaller parts, but they're all incredibly important in the story because all of the women really represent something so uniquely different in their experience that to me is always missing when we're telling women's stories. This idea that we're, for some reason, if you tell a story where there's a circumstance and all these women are experiencing it, somehow they're all experiencing it in the same way. And this was such a great opportunity to show a crisis and women responding in such different ways.
Right.
And some of them not knowing and some of them being completely false. But they were a lawyer and a secretary, but all I know is a part of this whole thing. It was fun. It's kind of fun. It was a friend of mine who just called me and said, hey, do you want to come and work for a couple of weeks on this? And everybody really jumped to it because I think Jay is that kind of filmmaker and Charles' script was so impressive.
What I like about the script,
I hated my life. I was exhausted all the time, and when I was working, I didn't feel like I had that battery that kicked in that made you go into places that you really have to go into. And when I was tired, I just wanted to quit. And so, then you worry, well, shit, this worked for Marlon Brando. And now I can't even do this. I really want to be good at doing this. I want to be fucking great. So how do I do that? And it took me a while to really kind of experiment. But I learned pretty early on, the more I switch on, the more I let go, which in the beginning was harder for me, but now I'm very disciplined about it. Like I go to my trailer, I take my makeup off, and
Alright, we don't have to work in a narrative sense the way that... Because the one thing you can kind of, in our brains, you can compare before those two is like the Woody Allen film, or it might do with Andre maybe or something. But we're just saying, no, it doesn't need to work like either of those. It needs to work in a totally different way. We're going to let time move in a unique way, or in his way.
So did you lock down the script in that situation, or were there lines that were locked down, or was there more improvisation on set? Or?
There's never been any improvisation on any of the three films. I mean, now the second and third film were more the process changed and the more than in the first one. The first one is different, more elliptical. It has more scene changes and. But it's always, Nick hates improvising on set. He even though it doesn't seem like the camera's doing very much, he's very meticulous in how the things time out. And, because the truth is, it's a really fine line in these movies between the most boring movie I ever saw and absolutely riveting. Mm-hmm. Because there's no, Rick likes to say, we don't have a plot. So if they see you acting, if they see any drama at all, what happens is, so that's how...
So the muscle memory just snapped back in as you guys got together, or was it?
It's something like, the only thing I can equate it to is being on a team or in a band or something. It's like, in that dynamic, everybody knows their role. Something about before somebody's been such a powerful experience, like when the three of us are together, my job is X, I don't even know how to define it, but it happens. Rick does Y, Julie does Z, and together something starts to happen. And we make each other laugh. I mean, we really tease each other mercilessly. And, nobody can take the piss out of me like Julie Delpy, I mean, she just will make fun of me for days on end. And it's fun.
So that film eventually got picked up and became this kind of immediate, huge, beloved phenomenon, particularly amongst the Smarties. Everybody's like, the best screenplay that ever, that became immediately the conversation with best screenplay of the year, long before award season and everything else. I mean, it was an intense romance from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Surprising to you, or?
Absolutely shocking. I mean, it's the level of intimacy that movies aspire to get on screen. And it's real easy as writers to work, it needs to feel like they've really been together. What could we do? Oh yeah, we'll write this amazing scene and it'll go from a love scene to like a huge burn-ass fight scene, and you talk about this and no, that'll be great. But then the actor goes, wait a second, hold on guys, how the hell am I gonna do this? So it just, that's why, the rap parties of all three of these movies have been absolutely exhausting.
And do you do that together? I mean, are you so familiar with each other in terms of working with Julie that you're each in your own space and you know where your rhythms are, or do you still have to find both?
The thing is, if you know well, if you take them for granted, the relationship dissolves in your hand. You know, and an actor in a lot of ways is like it's like a lover in that way. I mean, you can't just assume that, because pay attention to them and be interested in them. And
Is being interested in Julie when you're working on the script together different than being interested?
yeah, because then we're writers, and then these movies are really important to rehearsals, and it was mind blowing. These actors that didn't seem like something to do with your life. They sat around, they talked about whether God existed or not. You know, Jim Jones was a really interesting play. I was 13. I was 12 when it started, and 13 when it finished, and it just didn't seem like work. It was so fun. It's sword fights, and we worked on this beautiful language.